Peace and blessings. Happy Friday, August the 8th, 2025. Should put some positive vibes in your timeline. Like streaming from these different little sites I've been using. What up, though? We're reading from this daily inspiration book called Joy and Peace in His Presence by Sarah Young. Jesus calling. And Sarah Young is the author of this book. This is one of many books that she have. I haven't read any other any work by her, but except for this. It's pretty inspiring. Links in the bio. You're looking to make money online. Discover how to start your own online business. Blueprint, step by step. I used to fuck with TikTok till they got on some weird shit. They took my videos, demonetized my shit, and then blocked my account. So, it take time to work it. No, I'm not part of wasting my time. So therefore I'm not back on there. I haven't been back on there, and I highly doubt if I create another TikTok page. So yeah, I do Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I got a lot of different socials, but as far as being monetized, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm working on YouTube. Been basically doing all my stuff for YouTube because I already been monetized on this. I make money on these situations, and it's a waste of time. And I don't chase out the little bitty money, you know what I'm saying? My cheapest product I have is $900. If you guys get your weight up, you could be in this situation. I have payment plans as well. But nevertheless, I'm working on monetizing my YouTube. I done did this already, so it's a waste of my time to keep on doing it. That's why I don't be on here like that. I like to capitalize with my time and make my time make sense. Whatever makes sense to you is totally fine. But if it don't make sense to me, I'll subtract myself from it. I don't, ain't no going back and forth on what makes sense to me. I don't give a fuck. If it don't make sense, it don't add up, and I'm subtracted from it. So what I've been doing is making sure that I get ready to see what this about, because I had dreams a year ago. And the only way to see your dreams come true is if you work your shit. What I'm doing is working my shit. I'm not sure what plans I had a year ago because that mindset was for me a year ago. Now I have the mindset to help me get to where I'm trying to go. And I'll be revealing this letter on the 25th. If you guys want to know, some dreams take years at a time, some take weeks. But whatever dream and goals you have, some of your shit might not be happening right away. This is a year-long goal. A lot of people don't even have a vision past the next 24 hours. A lot of people can't think for themselves. If you're a visionary, you have a vision in mind, write that shit down and see how long it takes and see how determined you are to accomplish your goals. Are you spending time being closer to your goals, or are you spending time being further away? Time is slipping nevertheless, whether you're doing something productive or not, and time waits on nobody. You think tomorrow you will have time to make your dreams come true, you might not wake up tomorrow. And therefore your dreams has been shut down short. A lot of people like to think that they have unlimited time to do unlimited things, but nobody's promised the next moment. We take these mere blessings for granted. This is the present that God gave us to use. The 24 hours of the day is the same 24 hours that everybody get in the day. What you do with your time either puts you closer to your dreams or further away from your dreams. Whether you do something purposely, intentionally or not, or whether you don't do it purposely, intentionally or not, either way it goes, time is going by. And what you do with your time is important. The mindset I have is what I had at that time. And that time was the mindset that I needed. What I do with my time is I cultivate and I switch my mindset. I work on my mindset with my time. A lot of people do a lot of shit that don't add up. And I'm not sitting here to go back and forth with a motherfucker, because that's how they think. Whatever works for them, that's what works. And whatever add up to somebody, that's what add up to them, I'm kind of like Einstein, like a lot of shit boring me and it's not really entertaining because my IQ level is a bit different than the mass majority. And some people might look at me as strange, as weird, and we're all a little bit weird in our own ways. But what's strange is to have knowledge and not to do anything with the knowledge. Therefore, you're not wise. And what that means is I like the reference from this book a lot because it's inspired by the living word, Jesus Christ. And he didn't do a lot of talking. He walked around place to place showing people through his actions. You will know if somebody's a child of the light through their actions. Jesus didn't have to spend time explaining a lot of shit to people. You know what he was about, and you seen what he was about as he went and lived his passion according to his purpose. If you don't know what your purpose in life is, that means you got to start spending time with yourself because you don't know yourself. Only way to know yourself is to spend time with yourself, and there you'll find yourself. You'll know exactly what your passion and purpose in life is. And if not, it's because you've already lost yourself chasing behind everybody else. Once you spend a little bit of time getting to know yourself, you'll know yourself. A lot of people not happy with themselves. They don't want to spend time getting to know themselves. And that's called accountability. At the end of the day, when we all transition from this form to the next, it's going to be a solo mission, just like we all came into this world. Even twins, they came in one at a time, not at the same time. So therefore, it's just to go that you have to know yourself and find yourself. Even two twins may look identically alike, but spiritually, there are two different forms and two different people. Soul ties are real. You don't have to be a twin of somebody to have a soul tie. Just like I was talking about young Pharaoh, what's being made in your DNA. If you're a hater, it's in your DNA. It's because that's something you need to thrive off of. It's something that you go look for if you can't find it. And what happens is this is the mindset. Not only what you think about creates your reality, but it also creates who you are as an individual. It's formed in your DNA. If you spend a lot of time worried about stuff that you don't have and stuff like that, the universe is going to make sure you spend a lot of time not having shit because that's what your reality is. That's what you're calling the universe for. I spend a lot of time thinking about ways to upgrade my life, myself, my business. And the universe spent a lot of time showing me different ways to upgrade my life, my business, and so forth and so on. But once I'm being received these downloads, I don't spend time just like, okay, now I know some shit. I'm working on doing that shit. And I spend time practicing my craft, I started this digital marketing almost a year ago. And the only way that I know this shit is if I do this shit. Only way that I can learn high income earning skills and know high income earning skills is if I implement my learning. That's the way I was able to design this website, create an email list, and also these other high income earning skills that I have as far as multiple streams of income. I've been sharing with you guys my digital art, my NFTs, cryptocurrency that I created. Waiting on approval on my contract. A year ago, like I was saying, that mindset, I didn't think about none of these things because I wasn't the person that I needed to be to even be on this level of awareness. I would have never even thought about none of this stuff. Of course, I've heard about it, but it didn't mean anything to me until it became a part of my journey. Art is a part of who I am, but that doesn't mean that my art will evolve and elevate to what it needs to be. Just like, Michael Jordan, he wanted to be a hooper. But at that time, he wanted to be a hooper. He didn't, of course, he wanted these things, but he probably didn't know, okay, I'll be an all-time athlete, a fucking Olympic champion. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I have my own shoe line, shoe deals. All these things come with it, right? Just like with my dreams and with the NFTs and the arts and the cryptos, all this shit come with my dreams. I didn't think about it like that, but of course I want to go to the highest that I can with it. And that's with anything that I do. My art, my clothes, my business, whatever, right? You see some of the shit that I created, I wear my own shit. Team Angie LLC. Also, it's just about what come with this. A lot of things that's nice that come with this, and it's a lot of things that's bad that come with this. And I share them both because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You're going to go through some shit. When I first started, I had a whole bunch of family problems, a whole bunch of financial problems, a whole bunch of hating ass people coming around, and just a bunch of bullshit that I had to shuffle through. And it is what it is. It's what came with this shit. Not that I knew that it's what it was, because if I did, I probably wouldn't have embarked on it. But that doesn't mean that I don't deserve what I get. I'm going for my shit, whether it come with whatever or not. But nevertheless, and also I lost my cousin. We was beefing over some money. because of these bitch ass health people and they got in my bed. A lot of motherfuckers like to get in my mix and hop in the way and shit. But nevertheless, these motherfuckers, they did what a lot of people do, get in my mix, trying to fuck some shit up. And long story short, they been playing with my taxes for like this past 3 years, and I just found out like a week ago, or probably 2 weeks ago. But everything comes to the light, right? You know, I'm focused on becoming a better person for myself, and that's what I'm working on. And while doing that, here come all the extra bullshit, right? That I don't have time to fucking deal with. But I give my problems to God, and God deal with that shit. Just like I didn't know that was going on, and I don't have to worry about it going on because now my lawyer's on top of that shit. And now they keep on sending me letters trying to make it right, but you know, it's consequence time. Now you got to deal with the shit you've been doing. And I don't have no mercy on that, you know. What's come from is going to come from it. Shouldn't have been fucking playing with me in the first time. And in the second place, just do right by people, you know, and you won't have to deal with no type of consequences. You focus on your lane, you stay in your lane, and you get what you come from. You get what come with that. But nevertheless, like, you know, there was some shit holding me up that I didn't know about, my cousin didn't know about. But at the end of the day, like, we doing this shit for money, right? We don't do this shit to have fun, for show and all this and that. We making profits. Every business owner know, like, at the end of the day, how much you made throughout the year. How much you gross, what type of shit you put yourself in position, right? We don't hear about anything else other than that. That's why we do what we do. And it's for some of us in business, we do this shit 4 times a year, annually. Meaning we do these tax shit, we keep track of this shit because we're filing taxes 4 times a year. And now we're in the third quarter. If you hear the QA, Q4, all that shit, that's just basically niggas like me and niggas like them who do our taxes 4 times a year. And we keeping up with all the shit that we got coming in and all the shit that we got going out. Just like y'all, we do taxes again once a year as far as with the annual, with the public and all that shit. And just like that too, like a lot of y'all had income taxes, didn't hear from none of y'all. Now you motherfuckers, you know, could use my assistance. A lot of motherfuckers ain't do shit with the money. And it's just that mindset, you know, just like with the stimulus checks. A lot of people across America, at least, got money. They get their income tax at the beginning of the year. Then at the end of the year, it's like, what the fuck going on, right? Motherfuckers be so quick to compete with each other and try to stun on another motherfucker, but you don't put yourself in position. And that's funny to me because, like, I don't get taxes. Like I say, with these people in my business, I got fucking child support. They went in my accounts just the end of last year, taking my money and shit. Thought I was paid up with them, but whatever the fuck, right? Paid $10,000 just to get them off my ass, them and the IRS. $6,000 for them, and then $4,000 for them. But it's like shit. I'm putting myself in position. I don't get all that extra help out right in the beginning of the year, but I'm still straight. Still maintaining my situation, still adding on to Team Angie. So it's like, it's what you do. It's your mindset, you know. We could all have the same amount of money, but what you do with your shit is important. Your spending habits are important. That's how you become financially free. I could give you $1 million right now, but that don't mean you're going to know what to do with it and or how to get it back. So that's the thing, right? A lot of motherfuckers like to voice their input, but they're not on this journey. And a lot of motherfuckers don't know where to take. That's why they'll never start. But what's important is keeping track and having goals, having a vision. Like what I was just showing you guys, that 1 year letter. This been 1 year of me just trying to stay up to my goals and dreams, right? Some goals and dreams take more than a day. You know, this ain't no microwave success. This ain't no type of shit that just gonna happen overnight. And it can happen overnight for some people. But when you don't have no real reason why you doing the things and shit don't work out, you have unrealistic dreams and goals, people easily give up. When they don't go viral right away, or they don't keep doing and they expect that to happen every time, and it don't happen, now all of a sudden they're on to the next thing. It's because if you doing things for a real reason, that reason to carry you on, it'll be the marathon that you run, you know? Back in the day, people had one job and they did that one job because they knew what their purpose was. They knew how important their situation was and what they add to the mission. It's just like the difference between kings and peasants. Like everybody can't come in your realm because everybody ain't on that mindset. Not everybody gonna contribute to the situation. So therefore, everybody has places and stuff like that. The king has certain people to do certain shit because they understood the mission. They understood how to add value to what's going on. And besides the other motherfuckers, they didn't have in their areas because they don't add to the mission. They don't add to what's going on. That's why they have certain people for entertainment. They have certain people to go run messages, little errand boys and shit like that. And the jack, right? The jack of all trades, the errand boy, the jack-o'-lantern. Basically what the jack is, and it goes back in the ancient times, it's a nigga who don't have a master of anything. You basically a jack of all trades. Motherfucker could use you to go do this, to go do that, to go do whatever because you don't have shit that you really professional at. Which isn't a bad thing, but then again, at the same time, it's like you want to spend time to figure some stuff out, or you're going to just be the gopher boy. You know, motherfuckers use you to their advancement and to their advancement. A lot of people out here, like with the educator, right? They have certain things that they're doing. They're leading people's minds to a certain field. Just like a electrician, right? They know how to plug up certain shit so that you can have certain functions that's automatically being used. It's just like being able to spend time and conquering some shit. Like I'm not a fucking digital mastery, right? But I'm learning this shit. So now it's a tool that I have. And it's something that I've mastered. Just like with the NFTs. If you want to learn how to make NFTs, I can show you how I've mastered that trait. So the difference between that is having for sure things that you can capitalize off of. If I want to go in any imperfection in the industry, I mastered the skills and now I can become the teacher of that trade instead of being a helper of the motherfucker who's pushing the whole narrative. And therefore your value changes as well. A teacher gets paid more than an assistant teacher because the assistant doesn't have the knowledge that the teacher does. Therefore, the assistant won't be able to capitalize as much as the teacher does. The same is with somebody in any industry. If you're not the head, you're the tail, following behind a motherfucker who's trying to teach you how. Roles always switch and can switch depending on your mindset. If you're a motherfucker who want to apply yourself and take on that position just like you would do at somebody's job that you work at, you want to become a manager, a line lead, or whatever the fuck chain of commands that these people have in their establishment. If you want to apply yourself to, you know, up the ranks like that, it's the same as with anything. You know, if you want to apply yourself to have your own business, you want to apply yourself to become a chef or whatever the fuck your dreams or goals are, you know, I don't know. I don't give a fuck because I'm chasing my dreams. I can, but if I was to live your dreams and mine at the same time, then I'll basically be capitalizing off you and you'll be my golfer, you know. I'll have your ass doing certain shit. And therefore I have the strings on you, just like a lot of people in the world. They're being controlled by somebody else because they have no vision, they have no purpose, and they have no master traits or anything to do. So they're running around behind everybody else trying to mimic or imitate the next motherfucker that they feel is successful or they look up to, whatever, right? Just like I look up to Nipsey Hussle, but you don't see Nipsey Hussle from me. You see me with certain things of him. It's not I'm trying to be the nigga at all. It's just I appreciate certain things he brought to the industry and into the field of the arts and creation. You know, he created businesses, he created music, he created clothing lines, a lot of different shit, you know. It's just far as creating. And that's what I get from him. The main thing I get from him is owning all your shit. I don't do no middlemans. It don't take a lot of motherfuckers to make something happen. It just takes one motherfucker who gonna do it, and that's it. When you get an apple, it has plenty of seeds, right? But that one seed is all it needs to grow a whole nother fucking apple tree. It don't need many other seeds to do that one job. And that's the same as when the seed is in your mind, a goal, a plan to fucking elevate your life. That's all it takes is that one fucking thought and that one step to take action. You know, it goes hand in hand. Just because I add an apple with seeds don't mean that the shit gonna plant itself and or fucking grow. It's about taking action, you know. That's wise when you know some shit and you know how to do what you need to do with the information needed. What's unwise is knowing some shit and not doing what you're supposed to do with it. That's called being dumb. And it's called being insane, expecting a different outcome from similar actions. You can know some shit, but not be wise on how to do some shit, especially if you're not using knowledge the right way. But nevertheless, your experiences is what you want to experience. If it adds up to you, it's totally fine. Everybody has 24 hours a day to get whatever experiences they desire. And if you desire whatever you desire, then that's what that is. For those of you who like making shit make sense and you want to make something out of this online field and this online space, that's what I do to help you guys. I learned from a motherfucker who learned from somebody else, and we spend our time learning and implementing. It took me like 3 to 4 days when I started my website because I had other shit going on. Like I came from off the run, which y'all would have never knew because the way I do my shit, I still had stuff going on. I don't make excuses at all. If I can't make some shit happen, then that's just that. I'm moving on. I'm not the type of motherfucker sit around complaining and making excuses. Cause there's so much shit to be doing throughout the day, and that shit ain't doing shit. You feel me? But what I do is I put myself in position. Like when I was running, I was putting myself in position so when the run was over with, now I could do what I'm doing as I'm doing now. Maintaining shit that I got going on. And to do that, you got to have mental clarity. You got to have the time, the space. You're going to have distractions, all type of shit going on. Like I told you about this letter, like, we'll see what's what. I'm still pushing myself. But nevertheless, like shit happening, right? I can't control every fucking thing. But what I can control is if I give up or not. And the only way to see this shit come to pass is when this day come and I read it out and see what's what, then I'll know. I'll be able to take accountability. It's not making no excuses for where I am or where I should be. It's about accountability and, seeing what the fuck the hold up has been or whatnot. Or if my dreams are too small and I need to up the scale a little bit. I'm excited about this. I have took a few breaks, which is very much needed, because I do a lot of work. I'm doing a lot of shit I haven't done. I'm learning this shit, So that's the only difference. Like, me and anybody else, I spend time learning this shit. That's how I know this shit. And that's how I'm able to teach. But nevertheless, I have a live community. I get mentored myself. I don't attend every live mentorship they have going on because just because something work for somebody, that's what it is. Systems do work. But let me give you an example, right? If I was a white man in a sundown town, that environment, that system will work for me, right? And if you don't know, then, hey, you'll never know. But nevertheless, right, let me give you a different example. I love food, but I'm a vegan, or I might have high cholesterol, diabetes, or whatever, right? For a motherfucker who don't have those type of health problems, who loves food as well, the way that they prepare food, which is a nice system, which will work, isn't the same way that it worked for me as far as with my health issues. And this isn't something that I have going on. It's hypothetical. I don't like to make up shit. But just to give you a fucking idea of what I'm talking about, right? A system of preparing these things does work, but it won't work for the person who has high blood pressure, diabetes, and they can't eat certain shit, right? Certain ingredients. So therefore, there's a system that works, but it doesn't work for this group of people. Just like a system that works for the sundown, for the racist white folks. It don't work for a nigga like me, right? Environments, people, places, things, systems are set up. That doesn't mean every system will work for you. You have to know what system work for you. And this digital marketing, I got to figure out what systems work for me. Jumping on what I should have did was listen to what I know what works for me. It's nice to have mentors, but don't let them motherfuckers steer you off of what you know what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I did was kind of dumb, was listening to a motherfucker about don't do every platform, which it takes longer, but if it take all fucking year long, so fucking what? That's what works for me. And that's what I need to be doing, right? Not listening to a motherfucker who do something different and something different work for them. Especially motherfuckers who watch me do what I do and they're inspired by me anyway. So it's like, whatever, right? But the thing is, like, do what works for you. I switched my shit up because this is who I am and this is what speaks to me. Is basically an extension of myself. The way I had my shit, it was just some business stuff and it wasn't an extension of me. So I changed it up, I'm not finna be just trying to do some shit because they say that's what works. It's not working for me. And also, it's not me, right? I'm not finna be out here representing some shit that don't represent me. And that's just that, right? So the thing about it is you want to customize your experience to who you are. You don't want to be out here like, oh, I just need the money, right? We all need money. The universe knows that shit. The universe knows exactly what we need. And the universe don't respond to beggars, to emotional distressed people, or to a motherfucker who just feel entitled. You have to align yourself with the frequencies for these things to appear. And these things do come when the time is right. The universe knows. When you're aligned with these things, they come. And when you're not, of course, you can force shit to happen, but it never usually lasts long and or work out. So it's like you got to have discernment. A motherfucker will come into your presence, into your mix, and act like they there to help you out, but really want to see you fail. And I just dropped a short about that shit too. It's about when you winning, it's the signs and symbols to look out for, because it comes to everybody. Even if you don't think you winning, it's just some shit to look out for. For you to know these motherfuckers that come around and try to insert themselves in your mix. It's a lot of motherfuckers I was dealing with this digital marketing stuff. And a lot of them pretty cool. I learned a lot from a lot of people. And a lot of them just in a way like, you know, they, oh, this, that. They talk good, the shit sound good, but at the end of the day, ain't shit good come from it. So I ride solo. Like, I don't take a lot of motherfuckers to make something happen. I don't need no motherfucker in my way and in my mix. Like, you know. And what I do need help with, I do ask for it. So shit, that be that. A lot of people like to come and insert themselves where they not needed. That should be irritating too. That's a distraction with a lot of this. Like,
hey, have you ever been told you have a nice voice? Well,
yeah,
what if I told you could turn your voice into...
You know, when the bitch say some stupid ass fucking shit, all right, I'm gone. You know, I ain't gotta spend my time with you. You know, if you want to fuck with me, fine. It's about pimping with me. But about me trying to convince you that I'm pimping, you know, fuck you, bitch. There's way too many motherfucking hoes out there for me to go fuck with. She ain't listening to you no more. So what I'm saying is, you gotta understand that first. And then you gotta understand the way that you actually use this to your advantage.
Let me just get my notes together. Give me a minute.
All black, everything. My diamonds all love like Barrel Wayne. Look, blue rags in the south of France. Some things in life that won't never change. Me, I'm a nigga that's supposed to walk, cause I'm a street survivor and they mold is wrong. Before rap, it was Rolling Stones. I drove a Cutlass Coupe, cover cortisone. Running the building on my mobile phone. I'm thinking pace myself, cause you can overdose. I'm on the drugs, but the life you chose. I hanging niggas out like parole. No such thing as they might parole. They put cameras up and microphones. They got me sandwiched in. I want a nicer home. They know I take the risk. I don't know right from wrong. The city given that you might be gone. No cliches where the lines get drawn. Come on the block, it's a ride zone. For the little niggas stoop in the pirate mode. Beat with less strokes at the bottom.
All right, I'm about to let y'all hear this. The word for the day. And it's going to be that. I'm going to listen to some Nipsey and chill. But yeah, if you're looking for me, you want to know what I be on, I'm building my YouTube. Y'all know what's going on with me on this platform. Ain't much to talk about. Everything I got is self-explanatory. You know, check it out. And yes, I'm still doing this digital marketing shit. If you thought I'd stop or if you wanted me to be finished, you got a long, long wait. So just stay tuned in and, you know, be a little patient because this shit ain't going to stop. It's going on forever, you know. Until they shut the internet down, this shit going to always be going on. TeamAngieLLC.com. I'm pretty sure you see the website and the link below. It is what it is, and it is what it's going to be. I speak to you from deepest heaven. You hear me in the depths of your being. Deep calls unto deep. You are blessed to hear me so directly. Never take this privilege for granted. The best response is a heart overflowing with gratitude. Damn these flies. That's the only thing I hate about the summertime, Joe. Like, I don't really like the summer at all. It's too damn hot, too irritating. It's just, damn, you know. And I don't mean to be cussing while trying to read this word, but I curse. So if you don't like it, get the fuck on. I speak to you from the deepest heaven. You hear me in the depths of your being. Deep calls unto deep. You are blessed to hear me so directly. Never take this privilege for granted. The best response is a heart overflowing with gratitude. I am training you to cultivate a thankful mindset. This is like building your house on a firm rock, where life's storms cannot shake you. And you lean and learn the lessons. You can teach them to others. I will open up the way before you, one step at a time. And this book reading comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 42, verse 7. Also, chapter 95, verse 1 through 2. The screenshot that if you want to read more on this word of today. But yeah, it's about gratitude. Learn to be grateful for some shit, and you'll have more shit to be grateful for. That's just real. It's just life, you know. What you pay attention to, what you focus on, is what you have more of. And shit, that's just life, you know. Whatever your experience you want to be, go for that shit. If not, just accept what it is, and that's what it's going to be. And you can mark my words on that. We could bet on it if you're better. Yeah. You want different, you have to do different. If not, can keep complaining about the same thing and think it's going to change.
Guns get drawn, niggas' lives get lost. Never was entitled, had to fight for raw necessities in life. You see the reason, right? I was been supposed to change up. I was been supposed to fold all this pressure. I was been supposed to change up. Nigga, what would I look like? I come from the hood, I represent the only way up. Had to hustle, boy, I'm trying to touch the toy, I'm trying to fuck these LA streets up. Think it's safe to say that I did it, look, nigga, up. All black, everything. In my 600 bands with a heavy chain. Look, you deserve a real nigga with money in some days in life that won't never change. Man, fell in love with a killer. A celebrity herself probably fuck with her music. She the one at the shoe fit, but I can't stop for love. The kind of game that seduced us. Many honors of the road crips. Lot of new responsibilities with all of this influence. Spinning racks therapeutic, so I snow fake to face like ACs in my new shit. One button where the roof went. TMT taking shots, say cheese for the news clip. Dope boys and the boosters. Gang bangers and hoopers, my style is inclusive. The streets is abusive, but it's like my nigga wanna survive, gotta shoot shit. Hella thick skin, never rules quick. Yellow wrists, 7 speed shit. I talk to you on some 7D shit. Or a visual nigga, going digital nigga. Not the smartest nigga, but it's visceral nigga. My understanding on a level kinda different, my nigga. Every time I drop the city, you feel it. Every time you hate, you gotta be kidding. Every time I pull up the foreign, it's kidding, and I can't even really walk through the Beverly Center. Hudson jeans on, ain't the regular denim. I bought the 600 out the regular Benz. Famous without a deal, that ain't regular nigga. Trying to tell you niggas, I'm not a regular nigga. I was been supposed to change up. I was been supposed to fold all this pressure. I was been supposed to change up. Nigga, what would I look like? I come from the hood, I represent the only way up. Had to hustle, boy, I'm trying to touch the toy, I'm trying to fuck these LA streets up. Think it's safe to say that I did it, look, nigga, up.
That shit hard, man. You Facebook niggas, you YouTube niggas. I see myself in y'all motherfuckers be watching the motherfucker. But unlike you niggas, and some of you bitches out there be watching too, I let y'all know where I get my inspiration from. You know, because it ain't me. I grabbed this from the collective thought, collective consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And what is me, you know it's me. But at the end of the day, I like to give props where props is due. A lot of you motherfuckers think you're original. You out here trying to figure out how to be a nigga. And I see it. Free blueprint shit, I teach you exactly, you feel me? About to create some new art too. I ain't had time to do that shit because I'm working on some other shit, but I do this shit easy. Been practicing my craft. If you don't use your gifts, God definitely will take it back. You better appreciate your shit and use your shit, or else somebody else will appreciate it and be doing it as well. So yeah, and the thing about it, like my art, it's across the globe. I got the hard covers right here, of course. And I got that shit all over online, digital art. That's how you capitalize your passions, turn it into profit. And I don't even do this shit for money. But I got ample opportunity to make whatever the fuck I want to off of it unless I take it down. And that's what I teach people, and that's what I learned myself, you know. A lot of y'all got a lot of gifts and talents, but you're sleeping on it. And y'all here draining yourself for these motherfucking people you work for and never able to give yourself a true chance to capitalize off the talents that you already have. especially if you want to be a content creator. I mean, shit, you doing it for free already. Why not get paid for it? I mean, make it make sense, right? And I hope y'all heard that, because I played this for a reason. Don't let this internet shit get to your head like who I'm playing now. You hear what he's saying, right? The same shit he said then can be true now to this day. At home with his kids, but in jail on some old internet shit, listening to the wrong voices, trying to be a voice. Don't let that shit go to your head, dog, because it's a prime example of this content shit, the entertainment shit, because that's what you are if you're a content creator. You're basically entertaining motherfucker. Don't let the shit go to your head, dog, and throw it all out the window, or let a motherfucker, the voices, talk you out your position. It's a battle of the mind daily. That's why I read this book daily. A lot of motherfuckers lose their life because they ain't got their right mind. A lot of motherfuckers lose their position because they don't got their right mind. A lot of motherfuckers never get in position because they don't got their right mind. Listening to these voices of the world who are blind, leading the blind, and have your ass right where he is. But I just had to say that because it's important to know, like, don't get caught up in this shit, becoming unauthentic, trying to be authentic, if it makes sense, you know. Be real to who you are and why you doing what you're doing.
Being bold, and he told some shit I never did. For the fact he snaked you for some money, make you a bigger bitch.
When you talk about people who told, but nothing comes from the darkness but darkness. Whether you're doing the dark and you think nobody see it, you know, everything comes to the light. So when you're doing wrong, you're in position to have wrong done to you. And you think you're around the right people, but the right people that's going to tell on your ass is right there. So the thing I want to say to you, and hopefully you get this from what I'm saying, is just to do right by people. All that backdoor ass shit that people talk about, all the new false culture, the demon mode, the YN, all that goofy ass shit, it only gets you one thing. And I like Dirt too. I feel sorry for the man, but we all have to think for ourselves. Not they get mad about the music now because I'm talking some real shit. But nevertheless, though, right? Kind of lost my thought. I hate when that shit happen. If it ain't the fucking buffering with the internet connections, then it's this or that. It's always some shit. But when you get met with resistance, and that's just what it is. How bad you want your shit? Should this make me give up and stop? It's tempting, yes. But what I have to say needs to be said. And hopefully it save a lot of y'all from out here trying to be like the next motherfucker, and you don't really want what's coming for what they got coming, you know. You want to be like Dirt, he got jail time coming. You want to be like these other motherfuckers, just see what they got. But yeah, that's it though, you know. I ain't gonna keep on talking on here and they'll keep on cutting my shit off. But that's why I don't really be on here like that. Like, I make money on here. I'm waiting on them to send money that they owe me. And it is what it is, right? Like, I don't have to do shit else for the rest of the year until I get paid. But I enjoy what I do, so I'm doing what I'm doing. Peace and blessings.